How should I offer a prayer? In Srimad Bhagavatam, we find many exalted prayers such as those by the Vedas, Kunti Devi, and the Rudra Gita. For example, Kunti Devi prays about facing calamities like exile and being trapped in the Lakshagriha, the house of lack, where that was burned. Since I have not faced such hardships, should I omit such prayers or approach them differently? Similarly, in Chaurashtaka, Bilvamangal Thakur prays, I will imprison you in my heart. Are we allowed to express devotion in such ways? Actually, we've all faced very severe hardships, if not in this life, in other lives. I was, just this morning, I was speaking to someone told me they've been through so many difficulties in their life. I said, yeah, well, that's just normal. In the modern age, that's just normal. And I saw there was a local Gujarati looking at me. And I thought, well, maybe for them it's not. Because generally among Gujaratis, they, from what I've observed, in Gujarat and elsewhere, they live amongst each other in such a way that there isn't a lot of tension. And in this way, they don't have a lot of tension or difficulty in their life as they go through their lives. So they may not have experienced this. I'm seeing this question is asked by a Gujarati by background devotee. Should we omit such prayers? No, we should pray them. We can try to appreciate the mood of Kunti Devi. And if we dare, we can pray as she prays. Vipada santu ta shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yatsyad apuna bhava darshanam. Having described some of the difficulties they had been through, herself and her sons, she described some of them. What is that? Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshanat Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Kritchuta. What's the next line? Vanavasa Kritchuta. I can't remember. Mite Mite Neka Maharatashrato Dronashtratas Chasma Hare Birakshitaha. Who's saying that? Who's telling us? Okay, good. Someone's learning verses. She says to Krishna that we went through so many difficulties. There was an attempt to kill Bhima by poisoning. Then they wanted to. There was a conspiracy to plot to burn us all alive. Then in the forest, more than once they had to face Rakshasas who wanted to kill them and eat them. Purushada Darshana. Then the Asat Sabha, the insulting of Draupadi and the taking away of the kingdom by trickery and cheating. They had to go through so many difficulties living in the forest for so many years. Again and again, they went through so many difficulties. And when it looked like it was all over, the battle of Kurukshetra was over. Then again, Ashvatthama wanted to kill the remaining descendant of their line, who was Parikshit. But she's praying that Krishna, you saved us from all these calamities. But then she prays, Vipada, may these calamities come again and may there be more and more dangers. Because when there are dangers, we see you, we think of you. And by seeing you, we'll no longer see repeated birth and death. If you pray like that, you might experience such things. If you're ready for it, you can pray for it. Who dares to pray like that? Generally we pray to Krishna, save me from all difficulties. But Kunti is praying, give us more difficulties. Who will pray like that? You've got to be a pure devotee. So we may not have the courage to ourselves pray like that, but we can appreciate the level of devotion of Kunti Devi and Prahlad Maharaj, never disturbed in the midst of the greatest difficulties. So we can enter into, within our capacity, within our situation, we can learn from these great devotees. It's not that we don't go through difficulty. Everyone goes through difficulties. It's hard to imagine that we could go through the kind of difficulties that Kunti and Prahlad went through. But then when we are going through so many difficulties, we can remember how they remembered Krishna and how they responded. Bilvamangal prays, I will imprison you in my heart. Are we allowed to express devotion in such ways? Well, we can pray like that when our heart is fit for imprisoning Krishna. As long as our heart is filled with all bad desires and bad thoughts, we don't want to invite Krishna into our heart. He's already there. But we don't want to invite him into our home unless we're fully pure. So some prayers are suitable for devotees on the highest level of devotion. Not for everyone. But again, we can recite such prayers, appreciating the high level of devotion of those devotees who are praying like that. And we can aspire to come to that level.